By the time this video comes out, we're literally at the last week of January. And this is going to probably be the last top 10 Gundam list I do this year. As you know, I do these videos every January. And this one I plan on doing every year because if things go right, every month I'm going to be building new kits. So this list right here is probably going to be upgraded every year. And if you haven't read the title, this is my top 10 Gundams that I built and currently own. So before I tell you how this video is going to work, I just want to let you know a little bit about how I build. And there are time codes down below if you wish to skip ahead. But as you know, my favorite word is basic understanding. I just want to give y'all a basic understanding on the process of how I build kits. I've been building Gundams for many, many years. And I can honestly tell you, I'm not really an expert. Even though I have tools, I'm still learning. I'm still trying to get better. And I really do this because it's my hobby and I enjoy doing it. Now, the reason why you'll never see any panel lining or any fixes to the kit is because when I get the kit, I want y'all to see how the kit is outside the box. Because I know when you see it in pictures and on the box, it doesn't always give you an honest view of what the kit looks like when you actually get it built. And I want to make sure that you know exactly what you're getting, at least when it comes to this channel. Now, that does not mean in the future I will not be doing any kit bashing. I will not be customizing kit. I will not be painting kits. I will not panel line. I may, probably sometime in the future, will start doing content like that. And it's not like I don't have any kits that I haven't painted or kit bash either. I do, I just don't showcase them. So that might be some future content for this channel, but we're a ways away. Because honestly, I'm still in the process of trying to get some God hand nippers. So now I'm going to let you know how this list is going to go. I'm only going to include kits that I built since 2015, which actually I just found that out. Those are the only ones that are going to be taken into consideration. I'm going to be honest with you. This is probably one of the hardest lists I've done because I only buy kits that I really like. So this list is going to be based on kits that I like looks wise, not really how it's built, not the quality, just how I like how the kit looks. But I may take the build qualities and a list of other things into consideration when I rank these top 10 kits. But I want to reiterate, the main thing is looks. Now, these kits are going to be ranked. Number 1 being my favorite. And as for 10, I guess not as favorable is probably the best way to put it. I totally pronounced that wrong. But hey, you already know about this channel. We ain't here to pass on English tests. Okay, I think that's everything. Anything else I'm missing, I'll talk about as I'm going down the list. Number 10 is probably going to be surprising because on one of my other lists, this was ranked pretty low. But on this one, it's actually ranked pretty high. And that is the Lodash Stray. Yes, just because I have issues with this kit does not mean I don't love how it's designed. Yes, I do think the neck is kind of high, but beyond that, I think this kit looks amazing. I love the massive sword. I wish they would have designed this with a few more weapons, but still, at the end of the day, this is still an amazing design kit. I love the Lodash Stray. I love the color scheme. It's actually one of my favorite Ashtrays of all time. So, great kit. Has issues, but great looking kit. Number 9 and number 8, I keep flip-flopping. I'm not really strong on this, but I'm going to stick with what I have here on paper, and that is the Gundam Barbatos Lupus. Now, the thing about this kit is designed with 2 different kits. The clear kit and the regular kit. I just bought them both, put them together, and I think this thing looks amazing. I love how this kit looks. This is not the first kit I did like this, but I'm happy I did this kit like this. And the big reason why I did it was simply because of the shoulders. I really like the shoulders, and I really thought it would look better if it was clear colored and not the solid color, and I did it, and it came out amazing. I love this idea. I love that I bought 2 kits. I love that I combined them, and I loved how it came out. That's why this is number 9. There's an argument to put it higher on my list, but I'm just going to stop going back and forth with myself and keep this one at number 9. The Gundam Barbatos Lupus. Question, is this one a cop-out? If this is a cop-out, I'll do a short to add another kit in its place. Or I guess that kit would be 10 and the kit at 10 will go down to number 9. Number 8. And that is the Gundam Gymnast 01. The unofficial mascot of this channel. The first kit I built on stream. I freaking have an attachment. Like literally this kit's here because of the attachment to it. So I love the Gundam Gymnast. Of course there's an issue with the forearm. Watch the video when I rank the kits that I built on Livestream to understand. But beyond that, the one thing that bumps this up to 8 and why I put it at 8 and probably almost went to 7, but I stuck at 8 is the assault booster and the high mobility unit. That bumped it up because I love those attachments for this kit, especially when you put them all together. Number 7 is one of the last kits I built last year. I don't know if it was exactly the last kit, but it definitely was one of the last 3 kits I built last year. And that was the Gundam Death Sight. The Gundam Death Sight technically was about to be the first kit I ever owned, but when I went to go buy it, it was out of stock when I first started trying to get into Gundam building when I was a kid. The Death Sight is absolutely one of my favorite Gundams ever made. It was actually one of my favorite Gundams when I first started watching Gundam as a kid. Was actually one of my main, it actually was my main Gundam that I used. What is it called? Gundam Wing Endless Duel. It was my main. So I've always been a fan of Death Sight. One of my favorite kits. I've been trying to get this kit all last year, but they were always sold out. But I was finally able to get myself a copy. I'm glad I got it. It actually turned out very well. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I did mess up building this kit. I did correct it later. But I wonder if y'all will be able to catch the issue when the short comes out. As the recording of this, just now, just right now, 6, 5, 4, 3 just got rearranged. So, for number 6, it is the Sword Impulse Gundam. Every time I talk about this kit, I'm going to bring the same point up every single time. The funny thing is, when it comes to the Impulse Gundam, I'm not a big fan of it. But I love the Sword Impulse Gundam. And I guess for me, that's how much color matters. Because to me, the Sword Impulse looks amazing. And the real grade actually makes it 10 times better. I love how the real grade looks. And you know the funny thing, which makes the real grade so good to me? As something so small that you're like, that's your favorite part? And it really is, it's the core fighter. I love how there's no issue with the structure integrity of the kit because of the core fighter. I just like it, man. It's just cool. I love combining the kit with the core fighter. And the core fighter actually feels good. Like, it actually feels solid. So that's actually probably my favorite part of this kit. Now, I know there's a problem with the kit. I forgot what it was. I do talk about it in my top live build video, so I recommend you go check that out. Because I forgot what it was off the top of my head, but the Sword Impulse Gundam absolutely is one of my favorite kits that I bought so far. Number 5. That is the G-Self Perfect Pack. And the funny thing with the G-Self, this is another one almost like the Impulse, where I wasn't the biggest fan of the G-Self, but when it comes with this packs, I actually do love the design of the kit. I know it's weird, but for some reason that add-on makes that kit look 10 times better. I freaking love the G-Self Perfect Pack. And that's not the only one I like, but when it comes to this list, it's one of the biggest kits that I own so far. No, it's not the biggest, but I think it's, when I look at all my kits, I'm looking at them right now, I want to say it's probably the second largest kit that I have built so far. I think so. But I just love the G-Self with the Perfect Pack. I never thought I was going to get this kit until I remember the first time I saw it, I went online and I saw it and I'm like, I gotta get it. I went ahead and got it, and I've been happy with it ever since. The only issue is it takes up a lot of real estate, but I'm still happy I got it. Number 4, which there's an argument for this to be bumped up higher, but number 4 for me is the Wing Gundam real grade version. And I said it before in my top live stream builds. I'm going to say it again in this video. The reason why I love this kit so much as a real grade, the fact that I dropped this kit once and it didn't go flying everywhere, put this kit in one of my favorite kits of all time. The Wing Gundam real grade looks amazing. It feels good. There's no issue. It's a very solid kit. And for a real grade, for me, it's very surprising. I really have nothing bad to say about this kit. I know I've said it multiple times. I'm not the biggest fan of the wing transformation, but when it comes to this one, this is one of the exceptions. And when you can make me not love a wing transformation, oh yeah. And I know a lot of people hate the alternative bird mode, but I love it because I love that this kit kind of stands out and is different. You know, I love that about this kit. I understand some people don't like it. I actually I love it as long as you don't look at it from the bottom. When you look at it from the bottom, it looks like crap. But when you look at it from the top, it looks cool, at least to me. But again, that's always my issue with the wing kits is when you look at it from the bottom, kind of embarrassing. When you look at it from the top, it looks amazing. But that does not negate the fact that the Wing Gundam real grade is by far one of my favorite kits of all time. But the reason why I'm not ranking this kit higher, but it's always going to probably be top 5 on any list that I do, is simply, it goes back to the original story. The fact that I dropped it and didn't pop apart is the reason why it's so high, but it's not necessarily because of its look. It's because of how it just stays together. Now that does not mean I think it looks bad. I actually think it looks amazing, especially what they did with the wings, which is freaking tight, by the way. I love what they did with the wings. But if I really think hard, this probably wouldn't be one of my favorite looking kits I've ever built. This kit on the list I did earlier this year was number 2. And the only reason why it's not number 1 is because I never dropped the kit to see if it will stay together. That's the only reason why this is number 2. And on this list, it's number 3 for a few other reasons. But my number 3 kit has to be Gundam Epion Real Grade. Do you know how long I've been waiting for an Epion replacement? And the one that they gave us, totally worth the wait. I freaking love the way they designed this real grade. So many great things about this. Let's just start off with the mobile armor mode. The fact that it has dragon heads and the fact that it has a jaw that opens and closes. Come on, such a great thing that they did with this kit. Oh geez, the color of it, I love the red. The color looks amazing. And I gotta figure out, because there's one particular red in there that I really like. I gotta figure out what that red is, but an amazing red color. The kit feels solid. I think that's probably the only thing that I like and I dislike literally at the same time is the heat rod. Because even though it feels really great and really stiff, like it feels really good, the other part of that, I kind of wish they could push the articulation a little bit further. So it's great because it actually does feel solid, but it also sucks because I wish you could have got a lot more articulation out of it. But there's just so many things I like about this kit. Oh man, I'm not even gonna it's just a really good kit. It's one of my favorite kits I've ever built. One of my favorite kits I've ever owned. I've been waiting for a redesign of the Epion for the longest, and like I said earlier, this was worth it. Such a good kit. I mean, go look at other people's reviews, because again, I'm doing this off the top of my head because I know I'm forgetting about so many little nuance that I love about this kit. So other people will review it a lot better than me. I'm just letting you know that I have really, outside maybe the heat rod, and that's me like really stretching for an issue, I really don't have really any issues with this kit. I love the Epion real great. It's absolutely, the only reason why it's not number one is honestly, well, I'll let you know right now with number two. And number two is the Wing Gundam Zero Hono. Don't know. Like I said, pronunciation, not my strong point. And the reason why this is number two and why I place this over Epion is simply because this is the kit that got me back into Gundam building. Okay, you know what? I'll just use a proper name. This is the Gundam that got me back into Gunpla. There you go. I remember the first time I saw this kit, I thought this was only an exclusively display kit because I saw this at Anime Expo and I didn't think you could buy it. But I went to another booth and was right there and I went ahead and bought it. And actually for a cheaper price than they were selling it at that booth. I've been loving this kit for the longest. Now I do want to get the expansion set with it, which I have not been able to find it at all. But for this being the kit to get me back into building Gundam kits, this has to be rated high. Because if it wasn't for this kit, I would have never, ever got back into Gunpla. That's simple. Oh, fun fact. And I just found this out just a couple of days ago. So remember when I said the first Gundam I ever built was the Wing Gundam? That's actually not true. The first Gundam I ever built was the Wing Gundam Zero. It wasn't the Wing Gundam. I got that mixed up. So that was a mistake. And I say that to say that it's funny that the first Gundam that got me into building model kits was the Wing Zero. And the Gundam that got me back into the hobby is a variant of the Wing Zero. So I just want to put that out there to correct a little bit about my past that I forgot. Now, for my number one kit, and this kit has a very similar story to my last kit where I first saw this kit at Anime Expo, but the difference is it wasn't out at the time. And that is the Moon Gundam. I remember seeing this and honestly I thought it was a concept. I did not think they were going to make this one into a kit. I really didn't. I even took pictures of it just to show people like, yo, this thing is freaking tight, but I don't think it's going to be made. As soon as I leave Anime Expo, I want to say I looked online and I saw it was available for pre-order. And I went ahead and put in my pre-order as soon as it was available. And I remember I went around the convention looking, but it wasn't there. But the reason why this is number one, this one is a showstopper. Anytime I have somebody come by and look at my display, that's one of the first kits that they stop and look at. Now, it doesn't happen as much because I placed that kit in the back of my display, so you actually gotta look for it. But I remember when I used to have my friends come through, they used to stop, look at it, and they're like, that's tight. So the reason why this is number one is not just because I liked it, but it's because everybody else would stop and look at it too. In my honest opinion, this is probably the best high grade I've ever seen. Still to this day, I have not seen a high grade that looks as good and as detailed as the Moon Gundam. Now, maybe in the future, but as of right now, the Moon Gundam is my favorite high grade of all time and it's my number one kit of all time for now. Because I got some kits that are in the running that I haven't built yet. So I'll put it like this. Even right now, those real grades, the Epion and Wing Gundam, there's an argument there. But as of right now, the Moon Gundam is number 1. But next year, that's probably going to change. Now, these are currently my top 10 kits of 2024. But that may change next year. So you will get another one of these videos next January in 2026. And we're going to see if there's going to be any changes to this top 10 list. One more thing. Make sure to check out the next unknown updates for January 2025. Tentative title. Because in that video, I'm going to talk about some of the upcoming Gundam content I have planned for this channel.